if then STEM ambassador. And so we have the phrase like, if she can see it, then she can be it. And for me, like that was definitely one of those moments. Like I saw this woman being represented as a game developer and something clicked latently in my head that, oh, this is something I can do.
It's not just her building empathy for the containers that of the community and where she lives as a whole.
And then like over time, it becomes like a platform and they kind of like remove the ability to like.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to our code chat for August. I hope you all can hear me. I usually forget to unmute myself, but I don't think I did this time. So yay. But hello, welcome to Brown Girl Gamer Code, a leading digital community for women and femmes of color in gaming and tech. It was created out of the need to have a space to not only connect with others like us, but also to build a platform where our stories and contributions in these industries are centered and amplified. Our mission at BGGC is to advocate for representation, equity, and opportunity for marginalized identities in the gaming and tech industries. And in the face of rampant toxicity, exclusion, and being undervalued, we resist. All right, so before we hop into this interview, we have a couple of special or helpful items for our viewers to enjoy your experience. So first and foremost, before we get started, we are hosting a mutual aid fundraiser for one of our dear members, the Scream Queen, to help her and her child get to a safe environment. So if you hit !donate, you can find the link to Queen's Ko-Fi and consider donating or sharing. Second, we also have some commands in the chat so that you can get to know our guest for today. So if you type !guest, you will get all of the links to our guests' socials. Lastly, for closed captioning, you can use the captions extension. That button should be on the right side of the screen for you. If not, do not worry. We will be posting this interview on our YouTube channel and adding captions to that. So if you cannot check it out right now, we understand. You will be able to check it out after the stream. And with that, let's meet our amazing guests. I am so excited, and it's absolutely an honor to welcome you all to our August Code Chat featuring Storymodebae. So Briana, known as Storymodebae or Bri, is a full-time variety streamer and host who loves discussing food, music, pop culture, and all things nostalgia from the 90s and the early 2000s. With nearly 40K followers on Twitch, she's worked with brands such as Spotify and StockX. She's also hosted 3 shows for Twitch called This Is Dope, Follow Fridays, and The Weekly. Live concert shows for Live Nation. I remember tuning in to the one where she interviewed her and I almost passed out. And one of her most notable events is the 2020 Olympics in Tokyo. Bri first began streaming in 2018 after graduating college, and due to her growth and popularity, she's been able to do it full time. She uses her platform to highlight the importance of diversity, representation, and being true to yourself. Recently, she just launched a weekly live talk show called The Refresh in partnership with UMG, Universal Music Group. Bri is one of my inspirations in gaming and entertainment, and especially when it comes to hosting and interviewing. And I'm so excited to welcome her as our guest for this month's Code Chat. So with that, let's welcome Storymodebae.
Hi. What an intro. Thank you.
Of course. Welcome, Bri. How are you doing today?
I am good. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. We are so excited to have you here. I know I've said this a million times, but I have been a long time supporter of you and things that you've done, and it is an honor to have you here today. So let's hop right in. So why don't you tell us about yourself? I know I gave you a pretty bomb intro.
It was good.
I probably top my intro, but that's okay. But yes, tell our audience about yourself and what got you into playing video games.
What's up, y'all? I am Bree, otherwise known as Story Mode Bay. Exactly what Brand said. I mean, I love video games, but I also am a huge music junkie. As you can tell, I love pop culture and food and just talking in general. I think about all of my passions. But yeah, I've been streaming since I've been creating content since 2017, and then I moved officially on Twitch in 2018 and started hosting in 2020. And yeah, it's just kind of taken off ever since. And I'm super grateful.
Yes, yes, definitely. So tell us, what is your favorite game of all time?
I don't. It's like,
Do you have
it's
a top
like,
two, top three, maybe?
it's like picking your favorite kid, you know? It's like
Not the favorite kid.
it is because like I feel like I have specific games that I play depending on my mood. So
Mhm.
like if I'm feeling chaotic evil, then I'll pick up like a Rockstar game like a GTA or like a Red Dead Redemption. If I want something more peaceful
Mhm.
ish, or I just want to get lost in the game, then I do like a building simulator like
Mhm.
Planet Coaster or
Yeah.
Sims or something like
Yes.
that. So it
Mhm.
really depends what kind of mood I'm in that day. I know that
That's a
didn't
great
answer a
point.
question at
No,
all.
it did. No, no, it did. That was a great answer. That was a great answer. And I think it's helpful for us who can't pick to, kind of dice it up like that. Okay, what is depending
Yeah,
on my mood. So I can definitely empathize with that. And then I have some classics as well that are just in my
exactly.
my Hall of Fame, like
Hmm.
Spyro.
Oh,
And yes, listen, I'm hooked on Spyro. It's my first little game on my
a
first PlayStation.
classic.
Yes,
A
yes,
classic.
yes. Spyro it will always be near and dear to me. So I
Hmm.
get it. I totally understand. So to kind of branch off of that, do you feel like there was a game, or do you remember the first game that made you feel like inspired?
It was actually Doom, which is super weird. So the thing that got me hooked into gaming to begin with, I used to visit my dad's job when I was like, I don't know, 3, 4, 5-ish.
Mhm.
And at his job, he was playing Doom, and this was like back in the 90s, so it was super blocky and pixelated. But
Yep.
I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And
Mhm.
then my parents got me my first PlayStation, and I got Crash Bandicoot 2, Neo
Yes.
Cortex Strikes Back, and
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
I've
Yes.
always been playing something.
Yes. Yes. I love that. I think probably one of the games that inspired me was, I think, probably The Sims. I think I'm gonna
Oh
say The
yeah, for
Sims.
sure.
I
Yeah.
always tell people that Sims was like my first love
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
I was like 11, 12 years old and didn't know anything about this. I mean, if I was over
Mhm.
a friend's house and she had it and let me play, and I was like, wait a minute, what is this?
Yeah,
What?
there's like not and like I'm actually really surprised to this day there is nothing like Sims. Like I
Mhm,
am super surprised they don't have like any
mhm.
solid competitors kind of
Yeah.
doing what they're doing. It's
Mhm.
wild. It's wild.
Yeah, it is. And I know they've tried. There was something that
Mhm.
recently came out. I don't know if it's finished. I don't know if it was in beta or
Oh,
something.
yeah, I think they're still
But
working on it if we're talking
yeah,
about the
but
same thing, yeah.
still The Sims, like even looking all the way back, because I started playing The Sims on console. So
Me too, actually.
yes.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Mhm. Yes, yes, yes. So that was definitely one of the first that inspired me. But
Mhm.
so, growing up, we talk a lot about representation in the video game space and things like that. And I know, like, I feel like in recent years is where it's been more brought into the light, and there's been more effort. People have been calling it out more, and things like that. But when I was
Mhm.
a kid, like, I I noticed, like, I don't really see things that look like me or
Mhm.
characters, or but for me, I think it was Tomb Raider was where I guess maybe one of the first characters that I
Yeah.
actually felt connected to with
Yeah.
Laura Croft. But do you feel like it was important to you to feel represented growing up as like a young girl that was gaming and a black girl gamer?
I was gonna say the exact same thing. Like the
Mhm.
first game that I played that had a woman, I feel like was Lara Croft, like Tomb Raider. I remember I had a very active imagination. Like I was doing flips around my house and like flips down the stairs, and I very much
Oh
wanted
my
to be
God.
her. Like she was that girl.
Yes, she
Um,
was.
but as far as like, the black aspect, I didn't see anything until San Andreas. My
Mhm.
dad's
Well,
family
yeah.
is from South Central LA. And so
Okay.
I played San Andreas and I was like,
Oh,
oh my
wow.
God, not the
Oh
Isley
my
Brothers playing.
God.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God. What that has to be such a good experience for people who from that area and then got to
Yeah.
experience that game. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Fire
Hmm.
soundtrack. Like,
Listen, they're
unpopular opinion, but like GTA San Andreas has the best soundtrack of like
the
all of the
best.
GTAs. Yeah,
Period.
it does. Not
Period.
Vice City, is
No,
San
right.
Andreas.
Not Vice.
Yeah.
See, not Vice City. Because people be trying to go back
They
and forth with
do.
me about this. And I'm
They
like,
do.
no, don't get me wrong. Vice City was fire, but nothing is touching San Andreas.
Exactly.
That soundtrack,
Exactly.
like it's just too saucy.
Okay,
Like
I'm not trying to hear Michael Jackson in a drive-by. Like, no.
right, bang, bang, bang. Like, no,
Ah.
no. Exactly. See, you understand. You get it.
I get it. I
Yes.
get it.
Yes. So who are some people in the industry that you feel like influence you positively or that you look up to?
There's so many. I mean, first and foremost, I will always give so much love and admiration to Cup and Noodle. I feel like she
Yes.
was probably the first Black woman that I found on Twitch when I finally hopped over.
Mhm.
Kiwi on the Six, she's incredible and she's so
Yes.
informative and she's so sweet, like her personality. Lena Cuisine,
Yes.
I love the content that he makes and everything that he
Mhm.
does. There's just so many. Chelsea Bites is another one. There's just so many
Yes.
people that are just
Yes.
really doing it, and I love to see all
Mhm.
of us kind of just grow and elevate together. It's a really beautiful thing.
Yes,
Mhm.
I totally agree. I think I remember when I first came across Cup of Noodle as well, and I was like,
Mhm.
oh my goodness, especially I'm a horror fan. I love horror games.
That's her.
And yes, and I was always looking specifically for other like Black women in
Mhm.
horror that like to play horror games like that. And she was one of the first folks that I found too. And then of course with hosting as well, like
Mhm.
yeah,
Mhm.
I totally agree. And Kiwi as well. Yes, you name Chelsea, all those folks.
Mhm.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
definitely folks that inspire me as well.
Mhm.
So I, like I said, been following you since your YouTube days.
Whew.
I remember you was
Whew.
sitting in a chair, you was streaming from your PlayStation, playing
Whew.
LA Noir.
Ooh. Janky microphone. Ooh. Oh.
Listen, we all had to start. We
We
all had to
did.
start. We had
That's
to start.
right. We
But
did.
it didn't matter though. It didn't matter that that you were like streaming from your PlayStation. Like it did not matter because it
Mhm.
was still just it was quality and it was good and I
Thank
enjoyed
you.
watching it.
Thank you.
So but even still looking back from then to now, it's still very inspiring to see your journey. But for folks who might not be familiar, when did you realize you wanted to get into content creation and just kind of tell us more about that journey from like there to now?
I mean, I've always been playing video games. I mean, since I was a kid. But I'm not the best at video games. Like, I don't pride myself on being like the top 1%.
Me
Like,
either.
that's not me.
Mm-mm.
Like, I just
No.
really like to play to have a good time, which means I'm
Exactly.
always lost in the games
Mhm.
that I play. So around the 2017 year, I remember going on like YouTube and looking up let's plays and walkthroughs and things like that to figure out how to get out of a certain situation.
Mhm.
And the more that I watched other people's videos, I was like, that's interesting. Like
Mhm.
maybe I could also do that too, but like not as a career though. Just let me
Just
just
for
dip my
fun,
toe.
right?
Right, just for fun.
Yes, just the
Let
pinky
me
toe.
exactly, just the pinky toe.
Mhm.
And yeah, I started streaming off of my PlayStation. I started on YouTube first. But the thing about YouTube, which still holds true to this day, I hate editing. Like
Mhm.
yeah, I can't. I can,
Girl,
but like I don't
same.
want to.
I don't want to.
I
I
don't
don't
want
want
to.
to. Yes.
I don't want to.
Mm-mm.
So towards the end of 2017, someone that was in my YouTube comments at the time was like, "Oh, have you heard of Twitch?" I was like, "Twitch? What is that?" And I started my Twitch January 2018, and since then I was like, "Oh, I love it. I love like just going live, and then that's it." Not
That's
that's
it.
it, but that's it for the stream. Like I get
Right.
to just end stream and then that's it. And I thought that was so cool, just having like that live interaction with people watching you. And yeah, I've been hooked ever since.
Yes, yes, yes. I feel you on the editing. I cannot stand it. It's probably it's like my biggest setback.
Yeah,
It's
I feel
editing,
you.
and I'm like at this point, like I'm willing to pay for convenience. Somebody else can do this.
Yeah, for sure.
Like not
Yeah.
me. I can't. I just can't.
I
You
can't.
know.
Shout out to everyone
Mhm,
that can edit for themselves or for other
mhm.
people. I applaud y'all
Yes, that's
because
not
it
my
is not
ministry.
easy. Yeah, exactly. Same.
No, that's not my ministry.
Same.
But yeah, I agree. I love that. Like on Twitch, you can just boom, it's there,
Mhm.
and then it's all the things, all the bells and whistles.
Yep.
And when you're done, you're done.
That's
Like,
it.
and then the vibe is there. Period.
Yep.
Period.
You'll catch
Like,
it if you catch
yeah, right. You'll
it.
catch it if you catch it. That's I love that. I love how easy and convenient that is.
Mhm.
You know, so yeah, I had stumbled upon Twitch in like a similar way. So folks had kept telling me about it, and I was like, I don't know. I didn't really understand
Yeah.
like what was going
Yeah.
on. I
Mhm.
went first time I went live. It was an accident on my PlayStation
Not an accident.
and playing in San Andreas.
See? Yep.
Yes,
Yep.
I did not mean to. I didn't know I could. I was like, oh shoot, and then the rest is history. So,
Yep. Exactly.
but so I love that you incorporate nostalgia into your content. Like that is probably one of the biggest things that drew me to your content because I am big on nostalgia as well. I'm a 90s head. I love
Mhm.
everything 90s, like the fashion, the music, the everything.
Mhm.
But so and it really sticks out to me because it feels really authentic
Yeah.
to who you are. But what made you start incorporating that into your content?
Honestly, I don't think it was a moment that was, like, intentional, like, "Oh, I know I'm gonna kill him with this one." It just felt it just felt true to, like, who I
Mhm.
am. I am, like I love talking about, the simpler times of when I was a
I
kid or a
know.
teenager. Like, those are
Mhm.
happy times when I didn't have to pay bills, like, being an
Girl.
adult is cute, but it's also real ghetto at the same time, so, like, I
Yes.
always love to reminisce and go back,
Mhm.
and,
Mhm.
yeah, I guess with my content, this is finally a space for me where I could just authentically be myself and I don't have to code switch and I don't have to like try to appease
Yes.
other people or
Yes.
anything like that. So really it's just me pouring out pieces of myself and either you rock with it or you don't is where I'm at with
And that's
it.
that on that.
And that's not all that. And that's it.
Period. Like that's
So
it.
yeah, exactly. And so like with the nostalgia, I just love, pulling things out of me that genuinely make me
Mhm.
happy. And it's super cool to have a super solid community. Shout out to the
Yeah.
Bay
Shout out to
Brigade.
the Bay Brigade.
Right,
Yes.
right. And, we reminisce together and we do that, thing and we're all just vibing. And, some people call me an auntie and some people might call me a little bit of an old head, but I like what I like.
I like
Whatever.
right. I like what I like. I feel that.
Exactly.
I feel that. And I love that philosophy because it's so freeing when you think about it.
Mhm.
Because it's like, I'm showing up. I need to do things that I love. I can't just do what everybody else wants because then
Yeah,
you'll end up unhappy and doing things you don't want to do. But when you show up
exactly.
authentically and you do and you share openly like what you like and what you love, like you begin to meet other people with similar interests. And then
Mhm.
like not only are you authentic, but your community is authentic too.
Yep,
Like,
exactly.
and that is so important as a creator. Like I truly,
Mhm.
truly believe that. So how do you so I know I've talked to creators before and there's, they talk about how difficult it is to kind of when you want to be authentic, but you also want to kind of keep up with what's going on.
Yeah.
And in terms of like trends and staying up to date and things like that, how do you balance that I'm showing up as me? This might not be what's popular right now, or what everybody wants to see, but I'm still gonna do it. How do you push through that?
It's not always easy. I feel like I'll use TikTok as an example, right? I feel like with a lot of these apps and like platforms, sometimes you have to be a consumer before you're a creator. So like for TikTok, I will just scroll. I'll just like scroll my For You page and see like, okay, what sounds are trending, what things do people like? And then it turns into, okay, I see this sound, but how can I flip it and make it my own, because I don't want to do the exact same thing they're doing. How can I
Right.
take that and make it like unique for me and like the
Mm-hmm.
content that I put out? So I try to find inspiration in that way to kind of keep up with everything, because with content creation, like you yes, have to stay true to yourself, but you always kind of have to reinvent yourself. Like you can't keep doing the same thing that you were necessarily doing 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Yes.
Sometimes it's a shorter time span than that.
Yes.
So yeah, I just try to keep up in that way. And also my community keeps me forever young. So if I don't know something, like they'll tell me. So
Yes. Yes, I love that. I love that. I think that's a great point. Like seeing what's going on, but also figuring out ways to make it your own, how to adapt it to like what your style of content is, or what your interests are, the games that you play, and things like that. And I think that's a good point too, being a consumer. Like I
yeah.
I kind of relate that to when it with video games sometimes. Like I think since I've gotten to a point where I work in the industry and all this kind of stuff, I kind of forget, like, wait, I'm still a gamer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, hold
Yeah.
on. I need to make time to just consume the games, and that's it.
Yeah.
Just consume it. And you
Yeah.
know, and so I think that's a great point, and some sound advice for balancing it.
Thank you.
So speaking of the community that keeps you young, let's talk about the Bay Brigade, okay?
Oh, yes.
Because the Bay Brigade be showing up and showing out. It is a good time, y'all. If you have not checked out one of Bree's streams and hung out with the Bay Brigade, you need to do so because
We
it is lit.
wild. We
It's
real wild.
lit. It's literally like pulling up. Either you pulling up to the club with your friends,
Yeah.
or you pulling
Yeah.
up, you hanging out, kicking it on the porch, kicking the
Mhm.
shit, whatever.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it really is. It's a great time. So you've built, I feel like, one of the most vibrant, like, and engaging communities
Oh,
that
thank
I've been a
you.
part of. And I think too, what makes it unique, because I've been in like large communities before, and like toxicity might start getting,
Yeah.
running rampant, or
Yeah.
people don't set boundaries, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
I need to revert, put it in reverse, Terry, get on out of
Yes.
here,
Yeah.
So, but I don't feel like that in the Bay Brigade. Like even how big the community is, I still feel like seen. Like it still
Yeah.
feels like you still feel a part of it, and not just like like a number.
Yeah.
So I think it's quite admirable how in sync you are with them, and how they rally around your ideas and your content. So what advice do you have for someone who's looking to build a loyal and passionate community like yours as a content creator?
Man. Okay, first of all, shout out to everyone in the chat from the Bay Brigade. I see you. Ew, ew, ew. I feel like the Bay Brigade, the way it is now was not the way it was like in the beginning. It takes a lot of time to like build a really solid community.
Mhm.
Crash Nights was, I feel like there since like what 2018 when I first started streaming, along with you, like those early
Mhm.
days of me just starting streaming.
Mhm.
And I'm happy people are pulling up. I know you said this wild thing, but okay, we're gonna let it slide this time. Just come hang out. But over
Mhm.
time, it's like if you
Mhm.
don't set those boundaries, you get like being on the internet, people are weird, okay? And then it's like if you're
Girl.
trying to build that sense of community and you have like all of
Mhm.
these weird people in there, like it kills the
Mhm.
entire
Mhm.
vibe.
It
So
really
then
does.
it does, and it gets to the point
Mhm.
where it's like, okay, are you more worried about people showing up to your community, or do you want people to feel safe in your community, you
Mhm.
know?
Mhm.
And I am not perfect by any means, and I am still learning on how to foster a safe community and,
Mhm.
keep everyone feeling good and all
Mhm.
of that. Like I'm still working on it, but I think it's super helpful to have a community that I'm not saying everybody thinks alike, but everyone kind of vibes and meshes well together.
Yeah.
And now
Yep.
it's to the point where it's like, of course, we are super welcoming. Like, please pull up to the stream, pull up to the Discord. But it's like these really funny, I shouldn't call them funny, but they are. They're like these really funny moments when someone comes in the Discord, like on some weird energy. And then the chat kind of stops. And then like I get a message, or like a mod gets a message from like somebody in the community, like, hey, whose man's is this?
Yeah.
So it's like we're all looking out for each other, trying to keep, because like honestly, like they're a part of my extended family, and I am super protective, like over the Bay Brigade too. And I just want to keep everyone safe and feeling good. And also I have heard the same thing, and I've seen the same thing about, larger communities not really being treated like they're a person. It's more so like a number. And to me, like that's such a, I don't know, like y'all are people. Like I feel like you should be treated like people, So yeah, I know that was a mouthful, but yeah, I am super appreciative of the community that we have built together.
Yes. No, that was a great answer. Like,
okay.
No, you're fine. Listen,
Yeah,
we both like to talk.
I do.
So you don't never gotta apologize about talking.
Okay,
here.
perfect.
But I think those are some great points, like setting those boundaries. And then because you've instilled, those values, your community, they feel empowered to let you know, like,
and they will. They say, hey,
right.
got
You
to
know
go.
what I'm saying? Right. But and that's important. Like you're not always gonna see everything as like the community leader, but you have folks
it's hard. Yeah.
It's hard. Yeah. Especially, the bigger the community, the harder it is to have eyes everywhere. And so when you empower your community members, who have similar values to also have your back, like that's special.
Yeah, it is. It's real special.
That.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
So over the years, I know you've kind of shifted your content on and doing new things. Playing classics like GTA San Andreas, which I absolutely love when you would play those, because that was so freaking wild.
Thank you. Thank you.
And then even to more recently with the infamous Bay Brigade battles, which I personally am a fan of. I can't wait until I hope the one I voted for is the one that wins the next.
I think it's the one that's gonna win. I really do. I
think so too. But how do you gain the courage to try those new forms of content with your community? And do you ever worry about how they'll interpret it or how they'll receive it?
Yeah, I am super worried all the time. I'm like an overthinker. So like, yeah, I'm always like, oh my God, what are they gonna think? Are they gonna like it? I first try to do things that I'm interested in doing. I think it's like a good thing and a bad thing, like throughout my entire life. I don't like doing the same stuff, which is probably why like I was always changing jobs, and I was just like, oh, I've been here 2 years. I can't do the same
girl.
And so, which is why I love content creation, because it's like no one day is the same, and I'm always like
every day is different.
Exactly. And so, yeah, we have tried a lot of things out throughout the years. We have done a lot, but yeah, it's just trying to figure out what people like, what people are interested in. Like, even when I'm playing a game, like I can kind of gauge the chat and tell, like, okay, y'all aren't really feeling this. Like, maybe this isn't, the right approach. But yeah, it's like always trying to do something different and almost reinvent myself, because I personally like never want to put myself in a box or like only be known for one thing. And I feel like even more so because streaming is oversaturated. Like everybody makes content now. Everybody's streaming. Everyone's playing games. A lot of times the same games. It's like, how can I make myself stand out? Like if we're all playing the same game on Friday when it releases, like what can I do a little bit differently to make myself like, oh yeah, let's click on her stream. So yeah, we've tried a lot. It's been a lot of trial and error, but again, I feel like the Bay Brigade is super honest with me, and they will let me know in a nice way. Like sometimes they drag me, but like in a nice way, they'll let me know like, yeah, maybe that's not the one.
But you know what? I think that's okay, because I mean, you need people around you who are going to give you that honest, constructive
sure.
feedback, not just a bunch of people who are going to say yes all the time. Because then I'm
Agreed.
like, they're going
Yep.
to say yes and have me out here looking
Like,
like a fool. You know what I'm saying? Like, no,
y'all did
tell
not like
me.
this.
Y'all didn't like this. Why y'all ain't tell me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. Drag with love.
Yeah.
You
And Ray
know,
be the first one too, but we're not gonna talk about it. It's fine. It's fine.
I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. But that's okay. That's okay. We're gonna put Ray on the screen.
It's fine. There you go, Ray. Perfect. Yeah, drive with love. Love it.
Yes, with love, with love. And but you know what? That's okay. That's okay. And it's important to have people in your corner who are gonna have your best interest at heart, especially
sure.
when it comes to making content. So I get
Mhm.
it. I definitely get it.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite memory that you have with the Bay Brigade?
First, and as much as I love Bay Brigade battles, so the Bay Brigade battles kind of started during like 2020, when like all the versus battles were going on. We would watch them on stream, and we watched pretty much all of them, to the point where then Twitch was like, yeah, you can't play music on stream. And I was like, oh, maybe we move this to Discord instead. So yes, the combination of the Bay Brigade battles, but also watching like versus battles together too. And
Yes.
just seeing like how we were able to, obviously we're not in the same room, but it felt like, yeah,
Yes.
we going to a club. We used to call it Club Sugarfoot. Like,
Yes,
we going
Club
up to Club Sugarfoot.
Yes.
We pulling up to Club Sugarfoot. Like, we got some bottles of whatever in the back. Pull
Yes.
up. But yeah, like those days for sure. And we also used to do this thing called Degrassi Thursday, where we used to just watch episodes of Degrassi on stream, and I miss it terribly.
Degrassi.
Yeah.
What a time.
What a
What a
time.
time.
A good time.
So what I have to know. And chat, you all feel free to weigh in too if you've ever witnessed the versus battles. But I have to know what's been like your top versus battle that you
Ooh.
really liked, because I have a couple that I was a fan of.
I think I have a couple too. I liked, dang, who was he with? Was it T-Pain and Lil Jon? Were they together? I feel like maybe yes. I feel like it was T-Pain and Lil Jon. It was Ludacris and Nelly.
Ludacris and
Nelly. Monica and Brandy.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah. So good.
That was so good.
I'm trying to think. Of course, the Snoop and DMX battle was amazing.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
The Gucci and Jeezy one made me feel like are we okay? Are we safe?
Are we safe?
We're watching a Discord.
Are we safe?
Are we
no,
good?
seriously. No, seriously. Like, I remember I remember watching that and was like, oh shoot. Like,
yeah.
Hello?
No, they were serious. They were serious.
Yes, they were. Yes. The Monica and Brandy one was really good. I still, one of the top for me was the Erica and Jill Scott.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
That one was so good. And then I'm trying to think what else. Oh, I think the Ashanti and Keisha Cole one was funny.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot about that one. Yeah,
that one was funny. That was something else.
It was something else.
It was. But yeah, I was definitely concerned at the Gucci and Jeezy.
Yeah,
I was like, are they gonna make it out of here, or
are we okay?
Right, like I'm watching virtually and I'm up here looking.
Yeah, like what's going on? They were serious.
Yes,
they were
like
real
what's
serious.
going on? Yes, for real. Yes, the Locks and Dipset was good. Yes, I miss the good old fashioned verses where they just got on
the
IG
phone.
live, on the phone, on Instagram live, and pulled up and was just playing music. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Those were the best ones for me. Like,
yeah,
they just felt the most authentic, unplanned, unhinged, just
very unhinged.
Yes, just vibes.
signal
it.
dropping.
Yes.
Glitchy, lagging. Yeah.
Yes,
I
yes,
miss
yes,
it.
yes. So we're gonna play just a snippet from the in-person Bay Brigade battle at DreamCon because I was looking at the footage and I'm like, okay, so this happening next year because I need
Fingers
to be.
crossed.
Yes, I'm like, okay, if this is happening next year, I don't care. I will go to DreamCon just for the dang on Bay Brigade battle.
Come on.
Because I was just looking and I was like, this reminds me of college, like just being at a party in college, swag surfing, just living my best life. No care,
A
like
time was had.
a
Yeah.
time was
Yeah.
had. A time was had. A time was had.
Woo.
So we're gonna play a quick snippet, y'all, just so y'all can see how lit these battles are in person. Look at the crowd.
I still cannot believe. I can't believe.
Look at the crowd. Look at this.
So wild.
Can y'all believe? Can y'all believe that? Like, how does that feel, Bree? Like, how does that feel?
It feels so amazing and like honestly so unreal too. Like, of course, we were doing the Bay Brigade battles on stream, and it's like, okay, I'm doing it, and I see like the chat and like people are getting engaged, and like that's amazing, and I love that feeling. But like, I have never planned to in person anything before, so
Really?
ever. So like that entire process was so stressful for me because I'm an overthinker, right? I'm an overthinker. So
Same
I
here.
was just second guessing everything. What if no one shows up? I was meeting people at DreamCon and they would ask to take a picture and I'd be like, hey, by the way, please come to the battle tomorrow. It's on Saturday at 4, please, I beg. And I was just so stressed and I didn't know how it was gonna go, but oh my gosh, like my heart is still so full. I am so glad that everyone had a great time and had fun, and I'm just excited for the future. Like I want to do this like in other places, not just DreamCon, but it would be super dope just to like, I don't know, take it on the road one day. Like I just want to keep it going. So it makes me super exactly
manifesting it on the road, baby.
Exactly.
Road.
So it just makes me honestly super happy and grateful that people really, really enjoy it in person as well as on stream too.
Yeah, I definitely can empathize with you. I've hosted events in person before, but not really since COVID.
Yeah.
Like, so it's been a long time. I used to plan like in-person events all the time, but since COVID, it's like I have like gotten those same fears. Oh my God, is this gonna work? Oh my God, what about technology? And you literally hit it on the nail. My biggest fear is nobody showing up. I'd be like, oh my God,
yes.
Like I literally be about to panic.
Me too.
Like literally be in full panic mode.
Yeah, me too.
But it's just it's comforting to hear you say that because I know like, okay, I'm not the only one who be overthinking like this. Cause I'm like, is it just me?
I'd be all up in my head.
Me too. I'd be like, I'm so in my head. But you did a great job. Like, look,
thank you.
Girl, people showed up. People showed up and they was out there loud and proud. So,
I couldn't believe somebody almost took the TV off the stage. I said, what is this? Just having a good old time. Like,
see, that would make me panic. I'd be like,
no,
they ain't gonna buy this back, y'all.
I can't pay for it,
please. Yes. I definitely want to. I definitely want to plan like some IRL stuff for sure.
Yeah.
So I'll definitely hit you up for some advice. Like, girl, what did you do? Because
pray and be delusional. That's
right. Be delusional. That's what I'm about to do.
Delusional.
Be delusional. I'm just gonna be delusional because boom.
Oh my god.
Like for real. I'm gonna just be delusional.
Yeah. It works.
It works. So also quick reminder in chat, if you all want to check out Bree's life and her content, if you hit exclamation point guest, her link tree will pop up so you can see more about the Bay Brigade battle, and her vlog at DreamCon is also on her YouTube channel, so make sure y'all check that out. So let's talk about hosting and moderating, because that is, first of all, you've had an amazing career so far with that.
Thank you. Thank you.
And this is probably one of the areas I'm really excited to talk about, is hosting and moderating, because that's an aspiration of mine, is to someday just be able to pull up. My biggest aspiration right now is to interview Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I'm manifesting that. So you've gotten into hosting and moderating. So you started with This Is Dope on Twitch. I remember that. Working with Live Nation, the Tokyo Olympics, and now the Refresh. How the heck did you get started? Like, what? Tell us. There was a tea. How did that start?
They let me in and I said, perfect. That's all I needed was a platform. Perfect.
Yes.
You're not gonna get rid of me now.
Right.
Okay, so in 2020, I had started another new thing on stream, and it was called What's the Tea with SMB, and it was basically like we treated it like a radio show almost. So we would have like a specific topic or topics that we would talk about on stream, almost like just like a Let's Chat type of stream. And I would let people call in on Discord, and they would like sound off on their opinions and things like that. Somebody from Twitch, I'm assuming, found that and saw that. His name is Amen. He no longer works at Twitch, but like I can't wait to work with him again one day. He is incredible. But he approached me and he's like, hey, Black History Month is coming up. I have this show that I want to do called This Is Dope, and it basically highlights Black content creators on Twitch. And I was like, okay, yeah, cool. So, when do you need me for a segment? Like, what is it? Yeah, what's up? So like, no, I want you to host the show. And I said, host? I have never.
Excuse me?
What? Host? I've never. What is this? And I mean, the converse, I've never done anything like that. He was like, what's your rate? I was like, how much you got? I mean,
what's the budget? That's a better question.
I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, I hosted the entire Black History Month, and then we did 2 other episodes outside of Black History Month. And from then, like, hosting kind of took off. Then I was doing Follow Fridays, which was another show that Twitch had at the time, highlighting creators on Twitch. And then I started working with Live Nation that September, I think it was. And even with Live Nation, I was like, are you artists? Musical artists? Are you sure? Like, what? And I think the first guest on the show was Pink Sweats. And at the time, like, I had just started listening to Pink Sweats. So then I was like flustered. I was like, oh my God, I'm really a fan. I'm so nervous. But yeah, honestly, it just kind of took off from there, and it snowballed into something so amazing. And I'm so grateful for the opportunity, because I know like the circumstances that I fell into hosting are very unusual, I feel like. But yeah, it's been really, really good. I feel like my hosting style has changed a lot. Initially, I used to put so much pressure on myself, and I used to beat myself up. Like, oh my God, I was cruel to myself. Like,
girl,
I would finish an entire 2-hour show, and my husband DJ, he's usually like downstairs watching on the TV, and I would go downstairs and he's all like, oh, great show. And I'm like, no, I messed up on one word. Like, I stumbled. And he's like, whoa, relax. You just did an entire 2-hour show. Relax.
Yes.
And so, yeah, like just taking a lot of that pressure off of myself, because I was so like, I can't mess up. I have to be perfect. And stuff is not perfect sometimes. It's really about how you bounce back and how you
Yeah.
recover from it. So
It really
yeah,
is. It really
exactly.
is. Yeah. I think we are our biggest critics.
Yeah.
And like we really are. And we criticize on things that literally nobody even saw or cared about or remembered.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
and that's when I realized I needed to chill because I'm like, what? I'm tripping over. Nobody even saw.
Nobody saw that. Nobody even
Nobody
knows.
even knows.
But
Nobody
I
even knows.
knew.
But I knew. Right. To me, it's the biggest thing in the world, So yeah, I'm glad that you are hopefully you've lightened up on
Hopefully.
yourself.
Yeah, I'm better.
Okay,
I'm better now.
good. Because it's just so funny you say that because like I remember watching like some of the Live Nation segments that you did, and like I didn't see anything. Like I was just
I'm so
glad
glad.
to watch. I was like taking notes, like okay,
Thank
you know what
you.
I'm saying? So it's we always think that things look worse to us than what they do to other people,
Right,
so
yeah.
but I think I love that your journey into hosting was like not traditional at all. Like I love
Thank
that you kind
you.
of just fell into it. Because I think I hear a lot of folks in our community talk about like, oh well, I'm new to this, I'm bad at it. And I'm like, no,
Yeah.
like you're just
Right.
new. You have to learn. Like you take practice. It's okay to try something new. It's okay to fall into something
Yeah.
and start learning. You don't need to be perfect just to start. You're never perfect. Nothing is
Never.
ever perfect.
Never.
Everything has some kind of flaw, and that's okay.
Mhm.
you
And that's
know
okay.
that's okay. That's okay. So I think you've obviously done great, and I'm
Thank
excited to
you.
see what other things that you continue to do. So
Thank you.
but so talk to us about what preparation looks like for you when you are getting ready, because now like you got the refresh happening.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
how do you prepare for that?
I am a active believer of meditation. I definitely meditate. I try to like every day to like shut my mind up a little bit because
Mhm,
again, it just
mhm.
keeps on going.
Overthinker. Mhm,
Overthinker. But I try to do, research on whatever guests I know that is
mhm,
going to be on the show. I also try to look for questions that maybe aren't normally asked. Like
mhm,
how my thing with hosting, like I never want it to feel very like I asked a question, they answer, I answer.
mhm. Yeah, yes.
I like it
Mhm,
to feel like this, like a
mhm.
conversation, like
Me
we
too.
really go
Mhm,
back and forth and like kind
mhm.
of vibe and things like that. And I feel like it makes whoever you're interviewing feel so much more comfortable too,
Yes.
and they don't have to be like
Mhm,
as stiff. And so
mhm.
yeah, I really just try to think of ways that I can make it feel a little bit more engaging because
Yes.
I also feel like with it happening live, like I want the chat to also feel engaged with the conversation
Mhm.
too. Thank you, Soul Vibes. That's really nice. Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, so I try to do my research. I meditate. And yeah, I mean, I give myself a super quick pep talk, like when I see a countdown start to go before the show actually goes live. And yeah, I just kind of go
Mhm.
from there. I don't know.
I love that you brought that up though about being like having a conversation. Like when
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought about it like that, and that's of course how I like to do things is because
Mhm.
I know I can have a conversation. I love to talk to people.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love to just like have a chill conversation with people. And once I realize that, I just need to adopt that mindset and plop
Mhm.
it into hosting. Then I'm like, no, this is a conversation. I don't
Yeah,
need
it's
to
like the
worry
same
about
thing pretty
it's the
much,
same
yeah.
thing. It's just we're on camera.
Mhm,
So
yeah.
and so it's not as because I used to blow it up like way, oh my God. I used to get and I still get nervous. I
Yeah,
still get
me
nervous every
too, me
time, but I
too.
used to panic. Like
Yeah, yeah.
but when I adopted that same mindset of having a conversation and making the guests feel comfortable because they're nervous too,
Mhm.
so it made things a lot easier. And also like you talked about the preparation, looking up the person. I don't understand how people sometimes like interview somebody and don't do their research on the person. Like, bro, what are you doing? Like, you don't know anything,
No
like
comment. No
see.
comment.
Like you have to do that. Like, and that
Yeah.
for me, like I'm actually interested in my guests. You
Right.
know, even if I'm not interested, even if I gotta do
You
something,
can fake it. You can
right?
act like
Exactly. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like find something that
Mhm.
makes you interested in whoever you're interviewing.
Right,
Um,
right.
and do that research. I love how you mentioned looking up questions that aren't like traditionally asked. And because I
Mhm.
like to do that too, have like a blend of things that are kind of generic just to so the audience can get
Yeah, of
an
course. Yeah.
idea. But then like, you know, what are some questions that I genuinely want to ask that haven't been asked before?
Yeah.
And then I think too humanizing the experience. Like this is a human. So, you know
Mhm.
what I mean? Like this is a human,
Yeah.
and like I like to adopt that into oh, not the see,
Not little Nat.
not a gnat, y'all. See, this is the thing about being live. What's like
Right. No, everything happens. Right,
everything
right.
happens, you know. But so I would like to know, is there anyone in particular that you'd love to interview? Like the
Oh.
person, like just because I want to have a little manifestation
Okay, cute.
right here.
Mhm.
You know, I already talked about I'm manifesting Megan Thee Stallion. So who are you
Yes.
manifesting?
Andre 3000.
Yes, I knew it. I knew it.
And let me get T-Pain. Let me get Issa
Oh my
Rae.
God. Oh,
Let me also get Tyler the Creator as well. Let me get
yes.
Beyonce. I
Oh my God.
mean, come on. Yeah,
Beyonce.
let's
Listen,
manifest. Let's
manifesting.
manifest.
Listen, Issa Rae is I oh my God, I was like this close to like literally she was like a couple feet away from me.
Yes. Yes.
She is so amazing. I totally think she would I totally think she would be down for something like this for sure.
Yeah.
I'd love to see you interview all of these people. Like you already
Yes.
started, you already didn't got some folks under your belt.
Thank you.
So yes,
Thank you.
we manifesting this Andre
Mhm.
3000, Issa Rae, T Pain
Mhm.
be streaming. So
Yeah.
hey, T Pain, if you watch this, why Storymodebae. Wait, am I pointing the right way? Their way.
Mm-mm.
If we're gonna send it out to the Twitch guys so they can do their
Exactly. Put it in the
put it in
universe.
the universe.
Exactly.
Yeah, so we're manifesting all of that.
Mhm.
So I want to talk a little bit more about content creation. So we have folks in our community who, myself included, sometimes get discouraged, fall victim to comparison, and things like that. What advice would you give to someone who is just starting out and trying to find their way, and they may be like falling victim to that?
I know it's hard, but don't
Mhm.
compare yourself to what everyone else is doing. Everyone with streaming and content creation in general, like everyone goes on their own journey. And just
Mhm.
because one person is doing something doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for you or vice versa. I would say, again, try to figure out ways to make yourself stand apart from everyone else that may be doing similar things to what you're doing. Um, I also say start small when you first start. And when I say start small, I mean I know I was like talking mess about my headset that I had back in the day, but it was really helpful for me to just honestly start on my console because I already had it. And then
Mhm.
when I started feeling more comfortable, okay, I guess I'll go ahead and buy a PlayStation camera and
Mhm.
just kind of grow from there because I've seen a
Mhm.
lot of people go down to the Best Buy and just buy out the entire streaming aisle and
Mhm.
get like the lights and the camera. And that's great because you
Mhm.
have like a really high quality looking stream, but then it's
Mhm.
like they don't like streaming.
Mhm.
And then they're just stuck with all this stuff.
Stuck with all
So
this stuff, yeah.
yeah, so I say
Mhm.
just kind of start small and grow your equipment as you continue to grow into your
Yes.
journey. At least
Yes.
that's what's helped for me. Yeah.
Yes. I agree. I also started streaming from my PlayStation.
Mhm.
Matter of fact, when I first got on Twitch, I didn't even have a PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
I still had my PlayStation 2.
Come
And
on.
I was
Yeah.
still by the way, I still think that's one of the best consoles ever,
It is. It
ever,
is. Yeah,
ever
it
be on this
is.
planet. But I just had my PlayStation 2 and like I couldn't stream yet, but I would take my phone and record off of my TV like little snippets.
Yeah,
Like I would
yeah,
just record like if I did something cool or I don't know, like I just record little snips off of this
yeah.
old TV, you know. And when you have a phone, you try to record off TV, be the little lines.
Yes.
But I started putting it on. I would just take like little clips and put them on like Instagram just to
Yeah. Just to
start,
see.
just to
Yeah.
see, you know. So, and then I finally, when I got my PlayStation 4, it was on.
It was up.
It
It
was
was
up.
up.
It was up. So, you know, and I enjoyed those streams, those humble beginnings
Humble
because
beginnings. That's
yeah,
right.
your humble beginnings because you really do get to explore and give yourself that freedom to just see what
Yeah.
you like, and you know, it's organic. Like
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
very organic. So
Mm-hmm.
I would totally agree. So you've worked with a lot of popular brands as a creator, like Spotify and things like that. So talk to us about how do you decide what brands to work with or what opportunities to take, because it's some not so great ones out here.
Yeah.
You know, but you know,
Yeah.
I feel like now there's a lot of things being thrown at us as creators and things like that, and you got to really be able to understand which ones to take. So how do you decide?
I feel like I am now in a fortunate position where it's like I can kind of decide like, okay, is the money really worth it? Or like
Mhm,
is, what they stand for more important to me? But
mhm,
when I first started, and I have definitely worked with some brands that didn't necessarily align with who I was as a creator.
mhm,
But I was like, a bag is a bag. Like, oh, I must be doing something. Like they're trying
mhm,
to pay me for what?
mhm,
But I remember, and I'm grateful that I kind of learned this lesson earlier on in my
mhm,
streaming career. But I
mhm,
remember, working with a certain brand, and
mhm,
during that entire like brand partnership time, I just felt so like, I don't want to
mhm,
promote this. I don't want to try to
mhm,
sell this to my community. Like this feels like icky of
mhm,
me. Like that's
mhm.
not.
Yeah, yeah.
And since then I've been like, no, if I'm going to work with a brand, like they have to align with me in some type
Mhm.
of way, even if
Yes.
it's like a game that maybe
Mhm,
I don't necessarily play. Like I will introduce it on stream, like, hey, I've
mhm,
never tried something like this before, but I'm super open to,
mhm,
seeing how it goes. And then we'll
mhm,
go from there. But
mhm,
yeah, just trying to keep those lines kind of clear. And I feel like that's
mhm,
helped me a lot. But yeah, I know it's not always easy to figure out like, okay, is the money more important, or like should I
mhm,
look at like what the brand stands for? And they're
mhm.
kind of questionable, but this bag though, but
Right,
I feel
right.
but I feel like for me, like I try to do things that align with my morals in some type of way.
Yes,
Mhm.
definitely, definitely. I think it's important to sit down and think about what your values are as a
Yeah.
person first, and then as a creator.
Mhm.
They should align. They don't have to be the exact same. You know, they might be a little different, but that's okay. But
Yeah.
think about what your values are.
Yeah.
And you know, that's really kind of like the bar in terms of
Mhm.
who you work with. Also research folks. It's okay to research.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
okay to research and see, look in the have they been in the media for certain
Mhm.
things? What are other creators saying that have worked with this brand?
Mhm.
You know, just to get a feel for what it might be like for you.
Mhm.
You know, but also you bring up a good point. Do you really want to promote this to your community? Because
Right.
that also you've clearly built trust with your community, and you know, taking a partnership or working with a brand that doesn't align or that could be harmful, that could jeopardize the trust that you built.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you really have to take some time to think about, you know, is this gonna continue to build trust, or
Mhm.
is this a threat?
Right.
You know?
Exactly. Yeah.
Mhm.
And with that too, I think reaching the point where you're not afraid to say no, like,
Yes, yes.
nah, I'm I'm cool. Especially if they don't
Mhm.
meet your rate, because a lot of these companies will try to play you and try
Oh,
to
yes.
think that you don't know any better and be
Oh,
like,
yes.
oh, how about we just
Mhm,
slide you this? Like, no, I don't think
mhm,
so.
mhm.
And it doesn't happen all the time, but there have been a lot of instances where I'll be like, "No, like, that's not my rate. I'm not interested." And then they'll come back and they'll be like, "Oh, just kidding. We found a
You
little
found the
extra
money.
bag in the bag."
Right.
Right. And it's like this weird game of, like, playing
Yes,
chicken almost, but okay, yeah.
yes. It's so yes, that is so, so, so true. Yes.
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
and sometimes that no will get you the yes,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know? So, and
Yeah,
even if
gotta
it
know your
doesn't,
worth.
yep, and even if it doesn't, it's okay. Like, it's okay to there's so much power in saying no, because saying yes to the wrong thing, that might, it could block your blessings, to
It
be honest.
could. Yeah,
You
for
know,
sure.
I've learned that I've had to say no, but then like, and I might feel down about it for a second, but then next thing I know, oh, here comes something that actually works for me.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I'm
that
saying?
too.
Like saying
Mhm.
no cleared up the space that I, or the, the mental and emotional and energy that I would have been putting into this other brand, but saying
Yeah.
no cleared it up so that the right one could find me and get to me.
Mhm. Mhm.
So
Exactly.
yes, trust that gut. Exactly. Trust your gut.
Mhm.
So speaking of, so going off of that, how do you maintain positive relationships with the different partners and brands you work with? Because that's something that I
Hmm.
feel like is often kind of left out of the conversation. Like there's a lot of conversation around how to get sponsorships and partnerships, but you also, after you get it, how are you going to maintain it so that you either continue to work with them or they might refer you to something else, or just keeping that positive relationship.
I feel like I just try to be a kind person. Like, it starts with maybe the first, introduction meeting and just
Mhm,
showing up on time. A
mhm.
lot of people don't talk about it, but, like, in the streaming and content creator space, like, a lot of people are late. Like, a lot of people don't really value
Yes.
sense of time,
Yes.
and so, yeah,
Mhm.
like, I will show up to things on time, sometimes early, and just
Yes.
try to be, like, receptive and open
Mhm.
to conversation, being a
Mhm.
kind, genuine person, which again is like a thing that's like, what? That's
Mhm.
too much.
Mhm.
But yeah, like even if I'm doing a sponsored stream, for example, I just try to make sure I hit all of my talking points
Mhm.
without the brand having to come back and, tell me
Yeah.
otherwise. Make sure I'm not
Mhm.
cussing and,
Mhm.
make sure I can find different ways to keep the chat engaged.
Mhm.
If say for instance a brand doesn't ask for like clips of your stream
Mhm.
or something
Mhm.
like that. I'll post a couple clips on Twitter or I'll send them to the brand directly like, "Hey, we had such a good time. By the way, this
Mhm.
part was really engaging for us." Something along the lines of that. Just trying to keep a positive relationship with a brand
Yes.
without being too like, "Hey,
Yes.
it's me again. What else do you have?"
Mhm. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Um, I love that you brought up being punctual.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause
Yeah.
that makes such a difference.
Yeah.
And then, like, I do think it's easy, like in the streamer space, like, because a lot of us go live right from the comfort of our homes,
Mhm.
and it might not seem as like strict as like being in the corporate world.
Mhm.
I think there's a lot of, I think the creator space is very fluid, so like, and it's a lot more, you can show up more authentically. You
Yeah.
can kind of make the rules, which
Mhm.
we do. As a
Yeah.
streamer, you do make the rules, but that means that you also have to be your own boss, and
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
need to make sure like that you are showing up. Like, yes, being punctual will take you so far. Like,
Mhm.
it really does, because it
Mhm.
shows that you value your time and their time.
Yeah, right,
Mhm.
exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. Like, so yes, y'all hear that in chat? Be on time.
Oh, oh.
But no, that's a great point for sure. Yes, discipline, Sydney. Yes,
Yeah.
discipline gotta be on point. And I think that's something that will definitely help you maintain those positive relationships, is being disciplined. And the way that you do that, even if you are not, you may not have worked with brands yet, or that's something that you aspire to, you don't start being good and disciplined when you get the opportunity. You got to start that at the beginning. So when the opportunity come knocking, you already ready.
Yep.
Stay ready. You don't have to get ready.
That part, exactly. Yes.
You don't have to get ready. So that makes a very, very big difference. So all right, so these are just some fun questions that I have.
Dun, dun.
Who are some of your favorite songwriters and producers?
Wow. Wow. Okay. One of my favorite producers. I have a couple actually. Pharrell, Neptunes, of course.
Yes.
Love Jay Dilla so much.
Yes.
And I am so
shout out to Detroit, the 313.
Can you believe I heard Donuts? Like, I've heard Jay Dilla before, but like not like, okay, this is cute. But like I listened to Donuts for the first time like during quarantine, and I sat outside and I was like, yo, I'm not lying. Like, I literally cried the first time I heard it. Like, it was so everything I love. Like, I'm a sucker for like a soul sample and like good beats, and it was just everything. So yes, Jay Dilla for sure. T-Pain, of course, is another one too. Like, I'm a music junkie. I'm a music junkie.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I love Dilla. Love him. I love his work. Just
did you see the documentary on Hulu?
I didn't watch it yet. I need to watch it. You know what?
So sad.
I know.
So
you know what? That's another. I've been avoiding or procrastinating.
I understand.
And Tina Turner's.
I haven't watched DMX's either. Like, I just know I'm not gonna be any good.
Yes, and there's one that Aaliyah. There's a new one for Aaliyah that just came out, and I'm like,
another Aaliyah one.
There's another one that came out. I think maybe it was in June. And I think it's on Hulu too.
Dang.
Yes, but it just I know the emotions, because music just speaks to me, and when artists are no longer here, and I'm like, I miss your spirit, your presence on this planet. Let me not get emotional. But yes, I love Dilla. Definitely agree. Pharrell and Neptunes, Timbaland.
Of course.
Timbaland. I love Timbaland. Yes. Totally agree. So my next question: what are some of your favorite rap and video game collaborations? Or are there any you'd like to see in the future? I know I want to see. I want Megan Thee Stallion skin. Fortnite.
Yeah, because they have the Nicki skin on Call of Duty now.
Yes,
which I was like, okay, this is cute.
So give us more. Give us
I don't know who I would want, to be honest. I will say one of the coolest collaborations that I saw was a couple years ago, and I'm not a huge Fortnite head at all, but like when they did that concert with Travis Scott, I thought that was the coolest thing ever. And I'm actually surprised like more games haven't followed suit in that way, because I thought that was super creative.
Creative. And honestly, Fortnite has done more. Like they did the Ariana Grande one was good. But the Travis Scott one, to me, like, I just feel like that one was the peak. Like,
me too.
When I saw him stomping around the map like that, I was like, what? Like, they really just
it felt like a concert. Like, it
felt
was
like a concert.
So cool. Yes. But always I want to see another Def Jam game. I don't know if we ever gonna get it, but I would like to see it.
I'd love to see another Def Jam game. I love to see that. One of the favorites that I remember was it's the Sims, the Herbs in the city.
Oh, I love Herbs. Yes, and the urban Sims. Yes,
and they had
Black Eyed Peas.
Black Eyed Peas in there. I was like, that was such a bomb collaboration. I was like, yo, I love that. I don't honestly love to see something like that again from The Sims, where they are putting like celebrities, and it's like kind of like that story mode in there, where you have to talk to. You had to talk to Fergie and Will I Am to gain their respect. Like, give us
it was
more.
cute. Yeah,
Cute. Like, give us more.
and they just stopped.
I know.
Ugh.
So I know.
Yeah.
I would totally love to see some more. Like, I just love that. I love when hip hop and video game. I love the relationship
Me too.
between hip hop and video games.
Yeah.
And even especially when it comes to like sampling the beats. Like the little flip song, Game Over. Like,
yeah.
And then, you know, when it was sampling I can't remember what game. Oh God, I hear it in my head.
Ooh.
It's either Mario or I think it's a Mario game.
Maybe.
I think it's the Mario.
I know what you're talking about.
Yes, but I love that. Like, I love. I have a whole playlist.
I love that.
Of like on YouTube of like rap songs where they sample like a video game beat.
Oh yeah,
I just love it. Yeah,
I love that. Yeah, that's dope.
Yes, and yes, we just had the 50 years of hip hop celebration. So video games, where y'all at? How are y'all getting in on this celebration? Because we ready,
right? Been ready, right?
We're ready. Exactly. All right, so we are going to take a quick break, a quick little 5-minute break, so we can stretch and everything like that, and we're going to enter the Q&A session. So chat, this is your chance to ask Bree any questions that you have. Please drop them in the chat, and our mods will grab them, and we will ask Bree these questions. And don't y'all get too wild in the chat.
No, oh God.
Because the code can get chaotic. They can get a little chaotic.
I like chaos. I like chaos.
We are very chaotic. They are in their good behavior right now.
Oh,
they are
wow.
Super chaotic. Like, but I love it. It's a good we're chaotic good around here.
A good chaos.
Yes,
yeah,
we're
I like it.
Good. Yes. But we're gonna take a 5-minute break. So you all stay right there. Get your snacks, stretch, all that kind of stuff. Get your questions ready and please drop them in the chat. And we will be right back. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back, Bree.
Thank you. Welcome back.
Yes. All right. So we are going to hop into a quick Q&A. So I see all the lovely questions in the chat. All right. So we're going to start with Ray. So Ray says, what is a game that you would make if you were able to? Doesn't have to be story-based, maybe just the premise.
I would make a game that is decision-based. I'm a huge fan of like Telltale's Walking Dead, Wolf Among Us. Like, I love playing games where it feels like my decisions matter. So I don't know how easy that would be to make, but like I want players, like if I had the game, I would want players to feel like what they're doing affects the overall story. And I would like a game that has like really cool clothing options and diverse skin tones and hairstyles. Period.
Period. Yes, because we want to look like ourselves and we want to look good while we're doing what we're doing.
Yep, exactly.
And that's it.
Yeah.
All right. Our next question. Oh, it's from my husband, Marcus. He's always in the other room watching too. Yes. Marcus says, are there any old game codes or cheat codes that you remember by heart?
I would like to say that I remember a GTA code. I feel like I know the beginning, but not the end of it. But for sure, I remember Sim cheat codes, Motherlode, Rosebuds, testing cheats, enable true, reset Sim. Yeah, I got that for you.
Testing cheats, enable true. Oh my God.
I got that for you.
Yes, that is a classic.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Real ones know.
The real ones know. Testing cheats, enable truth. Yes. Yes. Yes, I remember some of the GTA ones too. I just remember they would start with like R1 and R1.
I had a whole notebook. It might be, I don't know where it is now. Maybe at my mama's house. I don't know.
Yes, I had like a packet that I printed out, or what my friend printed
Yeah.
out somewhere. And it was just pages of cheat codes. Yes,
Just ridiculous.
ridiculous.
Fiends.
Mhm. All right. Our next question is from Morgan. I believe this is, what advice do you have for people interested in hosting and getting hosting gigs?
I would say first try to come up with a hosting reel for yourself. I feel like showing the brand or company that you have some type of experience hosting is super helpful. And that doesn't, I feel like hosting is such like it doesn't have to be in the traditional sense. Like you don't have to be on the stage or on a show. It could literally be you on stream talking and like guiding a conversation or moderating a conversation or having people, if you trust them, not to say anything wild, like come onto your stream and, having a conversation in that way. So I say find a way to somehow create a reel for yourself to show off to a brand or company and be like, look, I can host. This is some of my work. This is what I've done. I feel like that's super helpful. I'm not sure if they still have it, but a couple of years ago they had like a hosting summit that they would do with Cup of Noodle and
Yes,
OKGN.
yes. I got to
Hopefully
go
they
to
bring
that.
that back.
It was so
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, hopefully they bring that back because I feel like that was super helpful for a lot of people as well.
It was. Yes. Twitch did do that, and it was for, I believe it was for specifically for Black creators.
I
at
think
that
so.
point.
Yeah. Yeah.
To help with, and it was great. So,
Mhm.
and I still have like the notes and stuff from that and little packets. So I would totally be down to share that for anyone who's interested and wants to see that. But yeah, I would agree too. Like Morgan's on the stream team. Morgan, you can get up here, girl.
There you go.
Streams and host something. Get your
There
practice
you go.
in for
Mhm.
sure.
Mhm. Exactly.
So Dear Skywalker says, do you ever play cozy games or do you strictly stick to those that have a storyline?
Very obsessed with Deer's profile picture, Destiny's Child, by the way.
I know, right?
I was staring at it.
I know. Please, listen. I'm manifesting a reunion.
Come on.
Concert. I don't care where it is. I'm going.
Come on. I'm going. Me too. I'm gonna be there too. Cozy games. Yes, I definitely still play Animal Crossing. I am also playing Disney's.
Is it Dreamlight?
Dreamlight, Starlight, one of the lights, Valley. I do play that on Switch as well. So yeah, I like somebody in the light chat. I don't know, Disney. But yeah, I play that as well. So I do like cozier games as well. It doesn't always have to be chaos. Dreamlight Valley, thank you. I couldn't remember what the light was.
Right, some light.
The light was somewhere.
Right. All right, our next question is from Gaming Musume. Their question is, what's the first game you ever beat in its entirety? That's a great question.
And I don't remember. I would want to say it was Tony Hawk, but I don't remember, to be honest with you. I feel like it would be a Tony Hawk Underground though, because I definitely beat that, but I don't know if that was the first game that I ever beat. I also have a very nasty track record with beating games, by the way. So this feels like a little bit of a trick question for me, but
come on, nasty track record.
Oh, it's nasty. It's real nasty. I don't finish anything. Sorry.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I think, the first game that I beat in its entirety, it was either, okay, I'm gonna say is either Spyro or, but I don't even want to talk about that because I think it was a Bug's Life. And I'm bringing up,
I love Bug's Life. Oh my god, yes, classic game.
Hooked. And when I tell you, I'm gonna bring up a Bug's Life because that was my first stress in a video game.
Oh my god, when you had to fly over the little canyon on the little
yes, that is it. Literally it. When I tell you that was the first time that my god, that was the most stressful thing I had ever experienced in a video game. I could not figure this out, and I kept getting ate by that dang on bird.
Oh wow!
Oh my god!
Oh, I would love to play
I was
that
literally
again.
in tears, crying. I had an older cousin. She was like 10 years older than me. I was calling her. How do you beat this? Stress. And there wasn't. We didn't. I think the internet wasn't really a thing yet.
We had the books. We had the Prima guides.
Yes, but I could
But
not.
you had to go to the bookstore to get one. Like,
yes, you had to go to the bookstore to get it, and I was so stressed. I could not figure it out. It took me so long. I was like, I think I played that over my whole Christmas break.
I ain't beat it. I gave up.
Oh my God, that game. It was that specific a Bug's Life. But you know what? I love that game so much. I would love for them to like put it somewhere. Like put it on update it, give it to us.
Yeah.
So
that was a good game.
I would love to replay that. I loved a Bug's Life.
Me too.
If I can figure out how to stream or get for my PlayStation 2, we playing a Bug's Life.
Or you could get a emulator. Who said that? Who said that?
I could. You're right. See, I'm gonna call you to help me.
Okay, got you.
Because I would love to play that on stream.
Yeah,
like, so serious. Well, I think. Oh wait, we have one last question from Torchy Brown.
Come on, Torchy.
Torchy says, "What was the first game you saw yourself in, if any?"
Lara Croft, Tomb Raider. Even though she had the triangles, I kind of wanted the triangles. I thought the triangles were cute. I wanted them. I said, "Okay, girl."
Look, listen.
And
Laura was a baddie.
She was a baddie.
Yes, even
with her little shorts.
Yes, she was a baddie. And I don't know if y'all ever noticed, but Laura's eyebrows were always fleeky. Always.
Come on.
Like if you ever turn to look, you can turn the camera around to her face, arched.
Arch
for real.
And San Andreas, with especially like the music and the culture of it all. So those would be my two, I think.
Yeah. I would agree with that too. For me, like definitely Lara Croft. San Andreas, I think San Andreas was the first game where like culturally that felt culturally relevant.
Yeah,
like that I had played. I mean, I know like we had like the Def Jam games and stuff before that, but like I hadn't got super into those. Like I was in a GTA. Like I had played GTA 3 before that, and I played GTA 3 until the roads and stuff stopped popping up. and
I feel it,
like that disc went through it, child. It went through it.
I actually didn't play Def Jam until I started streaming. That was the first time I played. And I was like, what is this? I can't believe.
Yep. Yep. I like heard of it, but not I hadn't gotten into them, but I'd like seen them here and there.
Yeah.
But like as far as playing culturally, definitely San Andreas. Like,
oh,
I felt like I was riding around. I was riding around and getting it,
and flying too. Yep.
Yes. We have another question from Calamity. Yes, the triangles were popping. Just don't give her a hug. Hexley. Calamity says, have you ever experienced burnout? And if so, how do you tackle it?
All the time. How do I tackle it? I feel like I have telltale signs for me. I feel like for the most part, I'm like kind of in tune with myself. And I know I am experiencing burnout first because I will not be able to sleep at night. I will just like, I don't know. I like my body is tired, but for whatever reason, I am just restless and I can't sleep. And it'll be like that for a couple of days. And I'm like, okay, I probably need to take a little bit of a break. So I don't know. When I feel burnout, it's first trying not to feel guilty about not streaming and not creating. Again, like the Bay Brigade is amazing and they're never like, no, get up and stream. Like they're not like that, but I just feel guilty about not showing up sometimes. So removing that guilt from it and finding things to do that genuinely like make me happy. Sometimes it's as simple as maybe I'm burnt out from sitting right here, and maybe I want to play a game, but I just want to play a game on my couch. Like I want to
Yes.
lay down and play a game. Like I don't want to be like sitting at my desk.
Yes.
And yeah, people say it all the time, but touch grass if you're able to, just going outside, getting
Ooh.
some fresh air. I am also really, I know like going outside seems so simple, but especially when you work from home, it's like sometimes you really
it's
have to
essential.
give yourself that push to
You
like,
have to.
girl, go outside, get some fresh
Mhm.
air.
Be intentional about that.
Being exactly. Working out always makes me feel a little bit better, even though I hate it in the moment afterwards. I'm like, ooh, wow.
Yes.
The girls were on to something.
Yes.
Yes. And really just having a super solid group of people. I am super grateful to have amazing friends in the streamer space and in like the
Yes.
content creator space, but also outside of the content creator space too, because sometimes you don't want to talk about content creation all the time. Sometimes you just want to talk about some other stuff too. So having a nice little balance of both, or having friends that are able to bring both parts of that to you, is also super helpful. But yeah, mental health is super, super important.
Yes, that's some great advice. I love how you mentioned how it shows up in like your sleep, and because your body will tell you before.
Yes, it will. It will.
Way before your mind will. Your mind will have you out here.
Yeah.
But your body.
And I love sleep. Like, why can't I fall asleep? I love to be asleep.
I don't play about sleep. Like one thing about me, I'm going to take a nap. I'm going to sleep. I'm going to go to sleep.
Yep.
And I'm gonna feel good about it.
Okay. You know, if I'm stressed, I'm going to sleep. I'm done.
Exactly. So I think that's definitely a great point. Going outside, I cannot echo that enough.
Yeah.
I literally sometimes be going through it in the moment. I get in some sun. I'm like, oh, never mind.
Wow.
I'm okay. I just need sun.
What is this? Air?
I just needed some fresh air and sunlight. Dang.
That's it.
You know, that's it. I'm like literally in the house thinking the world about to end. I just need to go.
Let me just step outside.
Yes. I mean, be about to quit, throwing a towel like this ain't nope, go outside.
I just needed air. Imagine that.
Needed air. Yes, exactly. And I also love how you brought up not always needing to sit at a desk to play games. That has been a game changer for me personally, where like I and for a minute I'll either move my PlayStation. I usually keep my PlayStation in the living room because that's my PlayStation is my home. Like my PlayStation is my homie. That's my homie. So like, and the Xbox is out there too, but sometimes I'll bring them in here. And if I need to stream, but like I intentionally keep them out of my office so I don't fall into that trap of just playing at my computer when I already work and create at my computer. And having that separation will really do wonders for burnout, because I love to be a couch potato and just
me too
play my video games. Like, oh, I love it. Yes,
me too. But like for me, I feel like it's made it so I don't play computer games as much as I used to before streaming, because like this is my computer. So it's like if I'm not working, I'm not sitting here.
Exactly. I'm not sitting here. Exactly.
So that's the hard part too. Yeah,
it is finding that balance, and two, finding people that either are completely removed from this space is also helpful. It's refreshing because they don't know nothing about this. And so you don't feel pressured to be like, oh, I might leave home and go meet with folks, but now we're talking about work. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's true.
But like, no, people who don't know nothing about this, they talking about all kind of other stuff. And that's like really mentally refreshing. So agree. Totally agree. All right. So for our last a little wrap up, what games are you currently playing?
Currently, we are playing The Expanse, which is Telltale's newest game that just came out.
Okay.
yeah, that's that's what we're playing this week.
Okay.
I also need to see. I'm bad with finishing games. I'm working on it. We need to finish Killer Frequency. Hopefully, we can
Okay.
do that tomorrow. And my plan is next week to bring back a game that I haven't played in a very long time. But you guys will just have to pull up to the
Uh-oh.
stream and see what it
Okay.
is.
Oh, I wonder if it's outlets. Like, no.
It's not. Let me stop you right there. It's not. Y'all tried it.
I know.
Y'all tried
I
it.
know. We tried it. We tried it. Oh my God. Okay. And then lastly, just talk to us about how can we support you and what do you got going on right now so we can support. I know you got the refresh. We'd love to learn more about the refresh and just anything else that you've got going on that we can support.
Yeah, you guys can follow me on all social media places. Storymodebae everywhere. The refresh is I'm like super grateful for it because again, like I'm a super big music fan, and so it is my music show that we host on the Twitch channel is 3.5 number 3 word point and then leather 5. But yeah, it's partnered up with UMG Universal Music Group, which is I feel like the biggest music group label ever, and so we have access to so much music and
And I
music
love
videos
that.
that we can play. Yes, me too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like a little mix of Jesus and Mero with a little bit of like a 106 in Park feel, and then we're doing like artist interviews too. We watch music videos. We're building a summer playlist. Currently, we are in a 6-week pilot with Coca-Cola, and we are figuring out if the show is going to stay or go. So if you guys are able to support it, I would be super grateful.
Yes.
Come on.
Come
We have 3 more shows for the next 3 Fridays, 11 a.m. Pacific time on the 3.5 Twitch channel. So
yes. Okay, y'all hear that? Y'all hear that? No, this is the end of the show, and we have a call to action.
Oh,
what is our call? Our call to action.
See you on Friday.
Yes, on Friday, 11 a.m. Pacific time. Make sure y'all come to in because we want to see this continue.
Thank you. Me too. Thank you.
Yes. So yes, fingers crossed. Manifestations.
Thank you. But yeah, other than that, I will be back on stream tomorrow. Next Thursday, we are doing our Bay Brigade battle back on stream. We haven't done one since DreamCon. I've been recovering. There's currently a poll going on in the Discord trying to figure out what the next battle is going to be.
I voted and I...
We're trying to do a producer battle this time around. So I think the choices are T-Pain versus The Dream.
That's what I voted for.
And I think that's what's going to win. We have Pharrell versus Timbaland, and then we have DJ Mustard versus Metro Boomin. So yeah, we're trying to see what we're doing. But yeah, it's gonna be a good time. So pull up on this, please.
Yes. And it was hard to decide because I'm like Timbaland and Pharrell.
I know. Yeah, I know. I know.
Tired. I felt kind of like, dang, am I betraying Timbaland right now? Because
I know. Yeah. But sometimes the ones that don't make it, like we put them back into the poll rotation at some point. So yeah. Maybe next time.
Maybe next time. Maybe next time. Well, thank you so much for coming and being a guest today, Bree. We had such a good time with you. We are definitely gonna have to see about bringing you back. Maybe we do a Cold Crew and Bay Brigade battle.
Oh no, because we don't play about those battles. It's very serious. It's very serious.
It's very serious. Yes. But we are so glad that you were able to join us today. It's been great learning more about your content journey, your musical interests, and all of those things. And we are excited to continue to support you. Can't wait to check out the refresh. Thank you for the advice and just coming in and pouring into our community. We're very, very grateful that you were able to join us today. So thank you so much. Yes.
Thank you for having me here. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you for pulling up. Thank you.
Yes. All right. So I'm going to put S&B in the backstage and close out the show really quickly. So say your goodbyes to Bree.
Bye.
All right. So thank y'all so much for coming through and tuning into our code chats. If you're not familiar with code chats, these are our monthly interview series. We've been doing this since about 2019. Just interviewing different folks, creators, people in the industry. This year we interviewed some developers from Respawn to talk about Apex. We talked to the developers for the game Dots Home. We have talked to so many amazing people, and I can't wait. We already got our guest lined up for September. She just confirmed with me yesterday. So I cannot wait for y'all to see who our next guest is. Stay tuned. Make sure you're following Brown Girl Gamer Code on all socials. If you do #social, socials in the chat, that'll pull up our link. So make sure y'all come through and check out ours on socials. Also, we have a stream team, so make sure you all come through and check out the stream team. The schedule is also on our socials as well. And yeah, this has been great. I love doing these with y'all. I love hanging out with y'all and talking to all these amazing guests. So I can't wait for y'all to see who our next guest is. But yes, thank y'all so much for tuning in today and supporting Brown Girl Gamer Code. Please give us a follow here and our social links. Stick around. We will be rating someone. So make sure y'all have a great rest of your week. Like Tabitha Brown said, if you're not having a good day, don't you dare go messing up somebody else's. So take that advice. Continue to have a good day, a good week. It's only the middle of the week. You can change your week around and have a good week. It's okay. It's all right. We made it to Wednesday. But yes, so I am going to go ahead and raid us out. We always love to share the love to other folks in our community. So hang tight. Our mods will drop the raid command in the chat. And yeah, this has been a lovely code chat. My name is Yo Brandy. You can follow me on all my socials are also Yo Brandy, just like that as well. I do food and video game content on there. So yeah, I hope to see y'all next time. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.